Welcome everyone to Blaugrana Planet. Welcome back to a new video, and today we have a Mercato update because the arrivals, the departures are heating up, guys. Barcelona has put an eye on a fullback and also an eye on the departures, which are critical, needed in order, of course, to register Jules Koundé, the already presented signing, and Marcos Alonso, who is pretty much done and is just there waiting to be presented, registered, of course, all of it at once. I don't think Barcelona wants to go the problematic of having a signing not registered. Therefore, they are waiting to make official the arrival of Marcos Alonso. But I think it's pretty much clear that the player is going to be arriving. And today, guys, I want to give you an update on four specific players, guys. Four specific players because things are really moving, guys. Really moving. There is only 2 weeks left on the transfer market window. And Barcelona want to reinforce the fullbacks and, of course, get going the departures. And maybe, who knows, that cherry on the cake, Bernardo Silva, who's still a possibility. So, without further ado, guys, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications. And let's get going with Juan Foyth because, guys, we said it yesterday, it's the main candidate, it's the main player that Barcelona want. And today we have seen the agents of Juan Foyth in the offices of Mateu Alemany. They are negotiating already, I guess it's personal terms between Football Club Barcelona and Juan Foyth, because at the moment there has been zero contact between Barcelona and Villarreal, zero contact between clubs. This is what's going on right now, okay? We have started the negotiations with the players' environment and the club. Of course, they know the situation, and they said, listen, Barcelona, we have not heard from you. You want the player, pay the release clause, which is at 42 million euros for Juan Foyth. I think it's a good alternative. Some opinions have come out literally in the last hour saying that no, Barcelona want a more offensive right back. Then why is the agent of Juan Foyth there negotiating for his transfer? Guys, they want Juan Foyth is the number one. And what is sure is that it's going to be a difficult operation, but I am certain that if we get in touch with Villarreal, I guess that we can start negotiating this price, and Barcelona are going to make their first official bid very soon. I think it's critical that we have good incorporation. So if you have Marcos Alonso, bring Juan Foyth there for the right back position, and I think things can be interesting. I think Juan Foyth is a good alternative. More offensive right back. I think we can go for another profile, but in the market, I don't think it's very easy to find a very offensive right back, which is giving you immediate performance. Remember this, immediate performance. This is what Barcelona is looking for. Therefore, Barcelona are going to be closing up on Foyth and on Villarreal to take this further. We will see how it develops. Not gonna be easy. I see it hard. Though we have Mounier in the backup. Mounier from Borussia Dortmund, former PSG player. He would be the backup, guys. So Barcelona would be considering Mounier, which is older player, 30 years old, more experienced though, but of course much cheaper than Juan Foyth. So that's the situation right now with the Argentinian player playing for Villarreal. Literally, they signed him from Tottenham last year. Moving on to Memphis Depay, guys. Memphis Depay, a player that is pretty much gonna be departing. His departure is gonna be imminent. I believe that it's gonna be official this same week, guys. This same week, because there is already an agreement between the player and Juventus, and we are finalizing the details here and there, some details, in order to Barcelona terminating the contract of Memphis Depay, and it's going to be done. He's going to be leaving as a free agent. Barcelona respect his desire to leave as a free agent. Let's remind ourselves that the player writes for free. And with good conditions, salary wasn't too crazy. I think Memphis Depay deserves that. He's gonna be signing for 2 years in Juventus, and he's gonna be getting around 5 million euro per year, similar to what he gets in Barcelona, half a million up, half a million down. And this is the situation right now with Memphis Depay. This is gonna clear a little bit the financial fair play margin, and is probably gonna help a lot in terms of registering Jules Koundé, Marcos Alonso, etc., etc. Okay, of course, this is one of the little parts that we need to execute in order to increase the chances of the arrival of Bernardo Silva. Let's keep that in mind, okay? Let's keep that in mind, and in fact, it's something that we're gonna be talking about in this video. But before, guys, I wanna talk about Frenkie de Jong, guys, because Frenkie de Jong doesn't want to reduce his salary. This is pretty much clear. The agents of Frenkie de Jong were in Barcelona 2 days ago. They refused getting together with the club, and they are gonna be wanting to stay in the club. However, guys, Manchester United seems that they are not giving up, and that they believe that they could finalize an agreement with the player. How? That's their strategy. They are gonna redo, guys. They are gonna redo the offer. Okay, so right now they have an offer standing for the player. They're gonna redo it. Okay, they're gonna redo it. I don't understand how they're gonna redo it. Maybe they do magics and they convince the player, but it's very hard. I think that Frenkie de Jong will stay in Barcelona. However, it seems that the reports are indicating that Manchester United is convinced that they're gonna get him after months of negotiating with the player's environment and getting zero response and zero positive feedback. I'm not so sure. I think the player is fighting, really seeing Frenkie de Jong develop at the maximum level, running like he has never run, doing incredible movements here and there. And I think Frenkie de Jong will finally stay, because the Manchester United offer is not going to be attractive. You can offer this guy all the money he wants. This guy is going to be earning 20 million euro this season. I mean, Manchester United are going to have to equal the offer, guys. Equal the 20 million euro offer. 20 million. I'm talking about the salary, right? Of course, the salary, and they're gonna have to increase, these conditions. Careful. Increasing the players' conditions could affect the initial agreement that Barcelona has with the player. Okay, it could affect, because they were gonna be getting some money from the transfer fee into the player's contract. I assume that this is what they're gonna do, because I think that they have a limited budget and it's already a lot of money that they are managing, okay? But you know what? If they manage to convince Frenkie de Jong, then welcome Bernardo Silva, no? Welcome Bernardo Silva. In fact, I think it's pretty clear. If Frenkie de Jong leaves or Aubameyang leaves, Bernardo Silva, it's much closer. What is certain, if the Frenkie de Jong leaves, I am so positive of Bernardo Silva arriving, guys. But Bernardo Silva, it's getting harder and harder, as I said on the other video the other day, I think 2 days ago. Guys, Man City need time in order to find a substitute. We cannot come the last day of the transfer market and buy Bernardo Silva from them. I don't think that they're gonna accept, even though the player really wants to come, even though his environment is crazy to come to Barcelona, looking for houses. Man, how many days have we seen these reports of saying, oh, they are already looking? Man, how many times are they looking for houses, man? They've probably been looking for houses already. Whatever, they have agencies for that, they're looking for them. So the situation is still the same. If we want to get Bernardo Silva, we need to get a big departure going. What is a big departure? Frenkie de Jong, first of all. This would 80% increase the chances at the 80% of the arrival of Bernardo Silva, and maybe Aubameyang to Chelsea as well, which is another possibility. But you know what? Aubameyang also wants to stay. And right now Chelsea is not looking to pay 30 million euros. That's what Barcelona is asking for Aubameyang. So that's the situation right now, guys. I don't think that Barcelona could be getting Bernardo Silva on time, to be honest. The time is running out. Frenkie de Jong wants to stay. Manchester United are slow doing the renegotiation. Aubameyang wants to stay in Barcelona. We have a crazy project, guys. Look at the team that we're building. Look at the coach that we have. We have a crazy project, and things are going well for us, despite we drew against Rayo Vallecano. The first games were always sleepy, but we're going to get there eventually. Players, there's a lot of new changes. Players need to gain chemistry. We have a super team. Lewandowski will end up scoring at least, I think, 40 goals this season. things are going to go well for Barcelona. And even if Bernardo Silva doesn't arrive, I think Frenkie de Jong, and I said it, Frenkie de Jong is somewhat very similar to Bernardo Silva, guys. Very, very similar. By the way, 170 people watching, 180, only 54 likes. Smash the like button, guys. Come on, smash the like button. At the end of the day, guys, the starting price, and this is important that we say so, the starting price rumored of Man City on Bernardo Silva is 100 million euros. But Jorge Mendes and Barcelona, and this is information we published in Blaugrana Planet, Jorge Mendes and Barcelona, at the beginning of the year, in January, they agreed on a transfer for Bernardo Silva for 80 million euros, guys. 60 million euro fixed plus 20 million euro variables, and the 20 million euro variables would be easy to get. Therefore, it would end up at an 80 million euros. I see your comment about this is not Manchester United. I read it, man. We know this is not Manchester United, and that's why we have a great team. That's why we have a great stadium. That's why we have a great city, great fan base, and this is why this is Blaugrana Planet, and that's why you should be smashing the like button, because this is not Manchester United. So guys, this is the update. Let's do a quick Q&A, as I always like to do. Make sure to drop your questions right below, and I'll be happy to answer them, because the market is heating, and things could be going on. Okay, guys. Let me drop your Gary Neville. This is not Manchester. Come on, man. Please don't spam the chat, guys. Mark Levinson says, Blaugrana Planet, we should try to use Trincao to be a key signing to Pedro Porro. Okay. Mayur says, why go for Bernardo when we need quality fullbacks? Alba is defensively, and Xavi doesn't trust Dest. I think, you know what, Alba needs to be changed, to be honest. The Gold Machine says, if Braithwaite contract is terminated and he's fully paid, he's obligated to refund money to Barça if he joins another club. I don't think that's how it goes. Ragnar says, I hope Man City is serious about 100 million. I'd like to use us, not sign Bernardo. We rather sign better left back than Alonso. Jordi Alba should be our backup. Guys, we know that Alonso is going to be arriving to Barcelona. We know that Alonso is going to be arriving. So that's the situation. I don't think we're going to look for another left back. Gokul, welcome to the chat. Mortusa says, Silva, De Jong, Pedri will be ideal and dream mid for Barça right now. Certainly. But that's, guys, I think that's very difficult situation. Very, very difficult. Is Foyth good? I really like Foyth, to be honest. I've seen some reports and some rumors, people saying, oh, Foyth maybe doesn't match up the conditions. I think Foyth can do it, and I think Foyth can be an interesting prospect as well for the future, not for just the present, but also for the future. Would you pay release clause for Foyth? Not at all. I would negotiate. It's been 6 years, Adam says, it's been 6 years and we're still trying to find a proper replacement for Alves after replacing Alves with Alves himself. Pretty funny, man, in fact. Hemanga, is Ruben Neves a possibility? I read the comments, and I'm not so sure about it. Zeno Rose says, Gokul says, your team won't exist in 5 years. Watch it. Screenshot your comment. We'll see in 5 years. We talk. Masi says, I hope Des leaves very soon. He's good for the MLS. Maybe he can go for the MLS, guys. Jacob says, why is that they want to sell Aubameyang, and who will be Lewandowski's backup? Guys, they don't want to sell Aubameyang. The club is not looking to sell Aubameyang. Chelsea is requesting a possibility of making an offer for Aubameyang. And Barcelona said, yes, 30 million euro. Pay the money. Gokul says, thought on Frimpong. I gave my thoughts yesterday on the video that we made in which I analyzed the possibilities on the right back position. Frimpong, Foyth, Monier, Bisaka, and Dalot. And by the way, today they already said Dalot, Bisaka, they're not an option because we don't want Man United players. I even said it in the video. Thoughts on Frimpong. I think Frimpong is a huge talent. The problem of Frimpong is that it's probably not immediate effect. It's not immediate performance, and Barcelona are looking for that. Barcelona are looking to get a right back that can play a semi-final of the Champions League, final of the Champions League without hesitation. I think Foyth has that experience of playing finals with the national team and with Villarreal, playing the UEFA, etc. They even won the UEFA, and Frimpong is just too young, you know. If I swap Frimpong for Dest, then yeah, why not, you know? But if it's Frimpong or Foyth, I go for Foyth. Nicolas says, Alex, today is Tuesday and it's almost gone. Have we registered Koundé when we're going through that stress of last minute? We need the departures, guys. We need the departures and possibly the deductions of salary from Piqué and from Busquets. We'll see. These are stalled right now. Dalot is better than Dest. I disagree. Do we have some Manchester United insiders in the chat? We missed the opportunity to sign Mazraoui. We know that. Well, in fact, no. We fighted for Mazraoui, but at the end we couldn't agree. Our offer wasn't good enough, and we were in a bad situation. We didn't have palancas, we didn't have the levers, etc., etc. Adam says, would you rather get Bellerin on a free or spend 30 million on Foyth? It depends. It depends on the situation. You know, Foyth just signed a contract with Villarreal. Just signed a contract with Villarreal. Bellerin would be a patch. Bellerin would be a patch. Foyth would be a player that you can have a future with, you know, or at least have a project of future. Murali says, do you think we can win the game, the next game against Real Sociedad? Of course, we're going to go big against Real Sociedad. I'm sure about that. Swap Abde for Foyth, your opinion? They're not going to accept. They don't want players. Villarreal don't want players. The Viator says, Frankie de Jong should leave. Free up the salary cap. Yeah, tell that to his agents and try to arrange a meeting with them. They're not gonna agree. Liron says, Alba is not himself ever since Chiellini lifted him up in the Euros. Do you remember that? I do remember that. That was funny. Laurent says, De Jong, Kessie and Pedri should be the starters in big games. I think, you know, Kessie... Guys, why are people putting Kessie as a holding midfielder? He's not a holding midfielder. He's an offensive midfielder, Kessie. He cannot play. He cannot replace Busquets. You play De Jong, maybe, in the replacement of Busquets. They're going to play Pjanic at the end of the day. Masi says, with this attack lineup, we need defense, wingbacks. Exactly. The goal machine. What about Gaya? And was it a mistake to sell Emerson? I don't think it was a mistake to sell Emerson because we were in a very bad situation economically and we did like a ping pong of money. We got some money quickly. Gaya is the captain of Valencia. They did an event yesterday on the game that they played, and I don't see him leaving. Okay, Gokul says, I do think Munier is a good option. He's getting overhated. I agree with you. Gary Neville says, we should try to sign Dumfries because he's one of the only world-class right-back we can buy right now. We should sell Frankie de Jong and use the money to buy Dumfries. It seems like a Gary Neville opinion, man, to me. Very bad opinion, of course. Respect your comment. Good news, Udo says, Alex, Barcelona need to keep De Jong. Gavi is not meeting up for now. Alright. Do you play any fantasy football? Indeed I do, but I will send it one day to you guys. So, alright, we're gonna close it down here, guys. Thank you everyone for joining. Piqué says, I think Sergio Roberto must stay, we will need him. The Gold Machine says, thanks, love from Sweden. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Impact TV 1 says, Alex, I have joined late, man. What is happening with our lovely club? You can go check it back right now after I finish the stream. Guys, thank you everyone for joining. It's always amazing to share what's going on in Barcelona, to share the updates. I'm sorry about this noise, this crickling noise that we have, like these insects, you know, in the summer they make this noise, weird. Anyways, thank you everyone for joining, such a pleasure. Smash the like button for the community, guys. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so you get notified as soon as I release my next video. And as I always say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video. Vamos.